Hello students, welcome back to Dr. Noor Firdaus Jahan channel. So here we are trying to explore the world of business management, and I am here today to teach the very important topic, very important function of staffing that we call it as recruitment. Yes. So we have done the manpower planning in the last class. So in the last session, right, last video. So I told you in manpower planning tells you that whether you need additional people or you already have excess people, right? So either you go for employment plan or you go for training plan. If you go for employment plan, then you have to recruit the people. So the today's topic, what I am teaching you is recruitment. So very important function of human resource management, or very important function of staffing, which we call it as recruitment. Let us do recruitment in detail today. So before I start with recruitment, let me ask you, so hope you are watching all my videos. If not, please watch all my videos, like my videos, share my videos and subscribe to my channel. So with that, let me start with recruitment. What do you mean by recruitment? Or have you heard of recruitment? Yes, most of the people think that recruitment is nothing but selection. See, if any company is selecting their employees for the organization, they call it as recruitment. No. Then what is selection? If selection itself is recruitment, then why the word recruitment is used? There is a difference between these two terminologies. So that is what I am here to teach you today. Please there's a lot of difference between recruitment and selection. These two are not same. Where recruitment will come to an end, selection will start. So before selection, whatever you do, after planning, before selection, in between whatever the activities you are doing it, that we call it as recruitment. So let me ask you, now I have planned I need 10 people to be recruited for my organization. So plan is over, 10 people I need. So before I start selection, I have to recruit 10 people. What I'll do? What I'll do? Write in the comment box. What will you do? You try to identify the people, right? And you motivate them to apply for the job in your company. Correct? Then once their application is done, then selector will select them. So selection comes later. After manpower planning, the activity of what you are doing it, wherein you are attracting the people to apply for your job, is what is called as recruitment. Yes. Let me tell you more clearly the meaning of recruitment. Recruitment is the process of identifying and stimulating the right candidate to apply for the job in my organization. In the organization, we call it as recruitment. So because see, I want people with maybe very good people, those who are very good in auditing, right? I am looking for some people, those who are very good in auditing. So very few people are there in the market. So and like me, there are another 5 companies. They are also searching for that people. I don't want the best people to apply to my competitor. I want them to apply to my company. Then what I should do? I should attract them. So that attraction is what is called as recruitment. I have to attract them. I have to tell very clearly, see, the other company will give you only 10,000 as a salary. We are giving you 15,000. The other company is not providing you training in software. We provide training in software. And every 2 years you get promotion here. The other company will not get it. So what way I am different from my competitor? What way I am the best employer you should choose for? So selling my vacancies to the applicant is what is called as recruitment. Did you get the meaning of recruitment? Recruitment is selling my vacancies to the applicant. Motivating applicant to apply for my job is what is called as recruitment. So how effectively you do, that much applications will come. You must have heard of it. There was a vacancy of one marketing executive, but there are 100 people who applied for it. That means the recruiter have done an extremely good job. For one vacancy, he can get 100 applications. He have done extremely good job. So that is what is called as recruitment. I have one vacancy, no one have applied. That means recruiter have not done good job. And only 2 people have applied. Then what is the choice for me? 2:1 ratio. How will I appoint? 100:1 ratio is what people look for. Or at least senior level position, 10:1 ratio what people will look for. Based on this ratio, you should be able to attract people and get people. That is what is called as recruitment. Hope you got the meaning of recruitment. Now, what are the types of recruitment you have? The next topic, what I am teaching you is types of recruitment. There are two types of recruitment. Please make a note of it. The first one is internal recruitment and the second one is external recruitment. Internal recruitment is one where I am not searching for the people outside. I am not motivating people outside people to apply for my job because my organization policy says that don't go for external recruitment. You must have heard of freezing of recruitment. Now due to pandemic, most of the companies have freezed their recruitment. Recruitment is not happening in most of the organizations, right? They freeze the recruitment. They don't do recruitment for 1 year, 2 years, 3 years. They'll not do recruitment at all. Then because the company policy says that don't go for internal recruitment, don't go for external recruitment, go for only internal recruitment. That means whatever people I have, same people I will utilize. I'll not get people from outside. So that is the first type of recruitment, internal recruitment. If I'm getting people from outside, then it is called as external recruitment. So internal recruitment, from where you will get people? Within the organization, as I told you. So what is internal recruitment? Internal recruitment is a recruitment which takes place within the concern or the organization. Internal sources of recruitment are readily available to an organization, right? Readily available. I have 1,000 people working in my company. All 1,000 people are part of my internal recruitment. Whomever I want, I can shift him wherever I want based on the requirement. But I have to train them. Yes, I'll do that. Yes, I have to motivate them. Yes, I'll do that. But my own people I am managing, I'm not getting from outside the company. So internal sources of recruitment are ready. How to move people. Is it so easy to move people from one place to another? No, it is tough. But you have to motivate them. That is why if you see a government organization, the banks, if you see, correct, if your parents are working in bank, every 3 years or 2 years they are being transferred. So the first type of internal recruitment is transfers. What is transfer? Moving of the employee from one place of work to another place of work without increasing their salary, without increasing their designation is what is called a transfer. It's a movement wherein only place is changed. Salary remains the same. Designation remains the same. Only place is changed. That is what is called as transfer. Then what is promotion? The next source of or next type of internal recruitment is promotion. I want the manager have resigned from the organization. I want manager. So I have assistant manager who is doing really good job. So I'll promote him as manager. So that is called as promotion. Promotion, see, transfer will not increase your pay and designation, but promotion will increase your pay as well as your designation. You are moving up in the ladder. Can you see the ladder there in the diagram? That is what is called as promotion. You are assistant general manager. Now you become general manager. Then from general manager, you become president or vice president, correct? From vice president, you become president. Upward, if you are going, there's a change in the designation, there's a change in your pay as well. That I call it as promotion. So either you can transfer people, if same caliber people you want, just change the place where you have excess people and where you have shortage of people, move from excess to shortage. Then just mere transfer will solve your problem. Or you want higher position, then people who are working in lower position, you promote them and you put them there. That is the second type of internal recruitment. What is the third type of internal recruitment? Re-employment of ex-employees. Please, the third one is, I cannot search the people from outside because it is banned. Correct? My policy never permit me to go for external recruitment. But I don't have readily hands available. What should I do? Some people who were working here earlier, they resigned and went due to some personal reasons. Now they are willing to come back. They have applied for the job. Can I take them? Yes, you can take them. That is what is the third type of recruitment, which we call it as re-employment of ex-employees. The people who are working earlier, they wanted to come back. For example, maybe a lady worker who she got married and so she resigned and went. Now family is settled, she want to join back to the job, you can consider her. Or maybe any one of the person, correct, went abroad for further studies. Now he completed it, he wanted to join you back, you can take him. That is what is called as internal recruitment, where you are looking people within the organization. And methods of internal recruitment are three methods are there: transfers, promotions, and re-employment of ex-employees. So this is what you have under types of internal recruitment. So what are the advantages of internal recruitment? The first advantage of internal recruitment is you are taking your own people, so they know the culture of your organization, they can adopt it very well. And you're not spending any money here, no advertisement you are giving, and no selection, the broad selection you are doing, and even the basic training is not required here, so it is less expensive and it will take less time, less expensive, and they adopt to the culture, so they may stay in the organization for longer. Risk involved in appointing such kind of people is very, very less. Correct? So those are the advantages. What are the drawbacks of this recruitment? Drawback is same people. So new ideas may not come in the organization. That we call it as problem of inbreeding. Make a note of it, inbreeding. Problem of inbreeding means my own people. So what they have learned, they know only that much. New ideas will not come. Rather than having my own internal people, if I would have taken people who are working in my competitor, so what my competitor is doing, those practices he would have brought to my company. But since I am taking my own people, I am not going to get anything new here. So that's one drawback in internal recruitment. But what to do if the policy is not allowing you to go for external environment or external recruitment, then you have to go ahead with internal recruitment only. Yes. On the other hand, if the company have allowed you to go for external recruitment, correct, you are being allowed to go for external recruitment, and you can appoint people externally. So then you can always do that. So let me teach you the next topic that we call it as external recruitment. Yes, I am allowed as per the company policy. I can recruit people from outside the organization. So I have wide choice. Whole world is the people available to me. I can pick up them from wherever I want. The best people I can recruit here. So that is what we call it as external recruitment. So external sources of recruitment have to be solicited from outside the organization, but it involves a lot of time and money. I told you the advantages of internal was it saves time, it saves money. So the advantages of internal recruitment will become drawback of external recruitment. Then internal recruitment problem of inbreeding was there, correct? But in external recruitment, that problem will not be there because new blood will come in. So new blood will come in, and definitely a lot of improvements will be there in organization, and companies can really do extremely good job here by having the new people working there. But risk involved is also high. Maybe the high-fi people whom you have recruited, thinking very good, are not able to adopt to your culture, they may resign and go. Then all your efforts will go waste. That risk is there. They may adopt or they may not adopt. So you may have to pay the higher salary than what you are paying to internal people. So those are the risks which are involved there. So both internal and external have got its own advantages and disadvantages. Based upon the requirement, you have to go ahead recruiting your people. Now, what are the sources of external recruitment? So this separately you have to answer this. Sources of external recruitment. How are you going to recruit people from outside? So the first method, the topic here is method of the external recruitment or sources of external recruitment. When I want people outside my company to come and apply for my positions, what I should do? I should give an advertisement in the newspaper. So the first method of external recruitment is advertisement. So a very attractive advertisement I have to design and I have to give it in the newspaper. So it's very expensive because if you want big advertisement based on centimeter, you have to pay the money. And if you want in classified, the small advertisement, you have to pay less. If you want one full box to be given in the center of the newspaper, you have to pay more. And color advertisement, you have to pay more. Black and white, you have to pay less. So different types of advertisements can be done. So the first source of external recruitment, correct? The external recruitment is advertisement. So that's very important. you can give advertisement. Earlier only in newspaper we used to give. Today we give advertisements even in Lindy, or we give you advertisement in various social media also, like Lindy, or maybe you have websites like Naukri.com, right? All these places also you can give an advertisement about your vacancies, or you can go to your own company website where career will be written. There you can give your advertisement. People will see and ask them to apply for the job. While designing the advertisement, ensure that the advertisement is very attractive, because the people should apply to your job, not to your competitors. So your advertisement should be very attractive, very informative, very short, correct, very short, but it should give all information to them. So that's very important. So that you have to take care in advertisement. So that's the first source of external recruitment. The second source of external recruitment is employment at the factory level, right? If you just call for a walk-in, people will come there to your company, give resumes and go. Take all those resumes and you scrutinize it and call the best people and you recruit them. So that is called employment at factory level itself. You are finishing. Then that you can also call it as walk-in. Walk-ins, right? Walk-in. People are walking into you. They are giving applications and going. Are talking. They call and ask you, are there any vacancies? I want you to apply for the job. Then we ask them to apply. So walk-in, talking, correct? Those things are also a source of recruitment here at factory level. Then there are employment exchanges also. What do you mean by employment exchange? And there are employment agencies also. You may ask me, what do you mean by employment exchange? What do you mean by employment agencies? Employment exchanges are government organizations comes into picture by passing of an act by the government to establish employment exchange. And these employment exchanges are available as soon as your graduation is over, or your metric you have passed, or maybe the 12th standard you have passed. You have to go and register yourself in employment exchanges. So based on the requirement, they will arrange your interview and they try to find the job. These employment exchanges in foreign countries will also pay the maintenance cost till a person gets job. Correct? If he is not able to place anywhere, the government will take care of them by giving them some nominal allowances to lead their life decently because they don't have job. But in India, you know our population, 1.3 billion population, it's very difficult. So we don't have that provision. But of course, employment exchanges are there. You can go and register there. Most of the public sector companies, government job, correct, get their applicants from employment exchanges. Then next you have employment agencies. You may ask me, what do you mean by employment agencies? This is nothing but the private agencies, not started by government. So many consultancy firms have come up, correct? These consultancy firms will provide the manpower to you. You just have to go and register themselves there. So any job is there, they are going to call you, arrange your interview, and you are going to get placed there. So they are called as employment agencies. They may be paid or non-paid. Paid, you have to pay and register yourself. Non-paid, no need to pay anything. They get paid from the company who is asking them to source the employee for them. So that one, you can get the best people from that and pay the consultant accordingly. So you can hire people through consultancy. That is called employment agencies. Or something which newly have come up now is called as campus recruitment, which is called as educational institutions. Educational institutions are campus recruitment. I want MBA graduates. So if from Bangalore. So how many colleges are there in Bangalore? So how many MBA colleges are there? And what is the level of the students there? And how much I can pay? Based on my ability, the company ability, what caliber people I want and how much I'm willing to pay, I'm going to go to the campuses and do campus placement, correct, campus recruitment, do a recruitment drive at the campuses and get the required number of people in my organization and come back. So that also you can do it here. So that we call it as correct educational institutions, or it is also called as correct campus recruitment. So that have become very important. Campus recruitment hold good when you need fresh graduates, correct? If you want experienced people, then in campus you will not get. So based upon the requirement, If you want fresh, you can go. You must have seen so many engineering colleges. They have TCS Drive, or they have Infosys Drive, or they have IBM Drive. So where they go select the people and come. And there is a placement department which takes care of that. So you can get connected to any college and ask them to arrange a recruitment drive for you where you can go pick up people and come. That is called educational institutions. Then next you have recommendations, right? Your own employee recommendations. So the employee may recommend the organizations, correct? The employee, our friends can recommend, my friends are there, why don't you recruit them, correct? That kind of recommendation also will work here. So that is employee recommendation. It is also called an employee referral scheme, where employee will refer their own friend to be hired. So you can get people from there. Or labor contractors. So many labor contractors are there. You can also get your manpower, your recruitment done through these agencies. So these are the various external recruitment methods which are available, or sources which are available, which you can make use of in order to hire employees to your organizations. So that's all I have in the recruitment. So recruitment topic comes to an end. So next class I'll be teaching you selection. So till then, take care. So please don't forget to like my videos and view complete videos and see the other videos of mine related to the topic, and please share my videos to your friends. Yes, till then, take care.